from Detroit, Michigan, USA. In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. Welcome to another episode of the In My House Techno Music Show. I am your host, T. Carlita, and you all know it's all about the music for me. Whether it's techno, whether it's house, yes, that's what this show is about. But let me tell you guys something. When I get music and it sounds good to me, I need you guys to know the music and who they are. So let me introduce to myself first, Karmacoda, and now I'm going to introduce to you, Karmacoda. Who do we have on with us today?
I'm B from Karmacoda. I'm the multi-instrumentalist, vocalist, producer, jack of all trades. So that's my
band
story.
leader, music director, everything. He's
The
done
boss.
everything. Yeah.
The boss.
The
And who
boss.
is this lovely lady here?
My name is Jessica. I'm a lead singer and also songwriter. So yeah, that is it.
Awesome.
Performer.
You know, I am so excited because truly it was your voice that when I heard the song, I said, her voice needs to be heard by the house community. Your voice is so absolutely beautiful. Your music is grown, is sexy, is smooth. It is just so awesome. I'm just like, I'm fangirling right now. Okay. I'm truly.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So how the name come about and how did you guys get started?
Well, we get started. It started as a studio project of mine, and I just wanted to make music that resonated with me. I didn't care if anybody liked it. And we started playing it for people. And they said, what's this? This is really cool. And that was instrumental music at the time. And then Jessica came along and we decided some vocals might be nice on this. And, you know, you've heard, once we added the voice component, it just blew up. It just sounded amazing. And we came together like through karma. It wasn't planned. And because we used loops, the musical term for looping, going back to the beginning at the end of a musical segment, is called with coda. So Karmacoda is where we got the name.
Wow. And Jess, so what attracted you to all this sexy melodic music? How did you say, hey, I want to get on that?
Well, funny you should ask, because you love house music. And so that is the foundation of my singing. So my first single was house music ever. So I met up with a DJ in San Francisco back in the day at 10:15. And he was like, oh, I'm a DJ, and oh, you're a singer, and whatever. And then do you remember, oh, you probably don't know, but Ruby Sky used to be there. And Ruby Sky was a big house music club, and all the best DJs and went there. And so they were spinning my vinyl at midnight, right? And I was actually just waiting tables and, you know, in the club, right? And trying to make some money, you know, and there's my single, and it was so cool, you know? And so that was my first, like, anything released to the world, you know what I mean? In that way. And of course, back then it was like tape cassettes, right? And it was CDs, and it was all these other things other than what it is today. It's all digital, you know what I mean? So it was
Right.
vinyl. House music is vinyl, you know?
Yep.
And so you spun house music on vinyl, and that's what you did. So we had a legit album release party. And that vinyl actually was sent out like all the way to like UK, and people were spinning it, and it was a really cool thing. And it ended up being on a video game. So yeah, so that was cool. So you could go like dance to it in arcades. And the funny thing is that I didn't even know that it was on there. So my brother was on a date and actually went on the dance game at an arcade, and he was like, hey, that's my sister's song. It's so
Wow.
funny.
What video?
About it.
What was this?
So nothing financial ever came out of that for me, because it was all like some weird back end stuff, and that company it finally went under and bankrupt, and you know what I mean? Like nothing great ever happened other than that moment. But
Hey, but you know what? Those moments become your historical sketch, because look at where you are today from
It's
that
cool.
unauthorized use of your music.
Right, yeah, right. So, but because of that, my foundation is house music, and maybe that soulfulness in my voice that you're hearing resonates with you, because you're hearing that that's my music, right? That was always my music.
How did I know?
I don't know.
When
It's
I
pretty
heard it, I
cool,
said, she needs to be on some house music mixes. Little you
yeah. And then it's evolved, right? So now like, and so some of my best friends are still DJs in the club, by the way. They're still spinning house music. Okay. So
Awesome.
I still keep in contact with them. San Francisco's obviously big house music, right? Underground club. So it's still going strong. I'm just have a day job, so I'm tired, so I don't go anymore. But I cannot dance all night anymore. I'm tired. Anyway,
Understood.
I'm responsible now. But you know, so but it evolved into finding Karmacoda back to when I moved back to the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. Is I found, you know, B and Eric, and they were looking for a lead singer. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so up my alley. You know what I mean? It was so like, this is so similar to where I came from. And at the same time, it's so new and so fresh. And like you said, adult, like it's so sophisticated.
Very,
Right.
very much so. Very much
And
so.
so I was like, I can get into this. This is a project like I want to be a part of. And so I reached
Right.
out, and then now we're here.
So, Brett,
Yeah.
B, boss man, ask DJs, what goes on in the minds of the DJs? So when you're like in your studio where you're sitting and you're thinking about things, some of the ways that you come up with your style and technique, do you have a vision, a dream? You got grown and sexy music? Or you know, have you always been grown and sexy? But of course not. Or did you just evolve to this grown and sexiness that you are in your music? That's a loaded question, right? Where do you want to start?
Well, I'm not a DJ.
Whatever you want.
I won't claim credit for to being a DJ. I'm a, you know, writer, producer, which is similar to a DJ, I would say. But I have a collection of instruments and sounds, and I just come into the studio and start playing around with no vision. And if anything catches my ear, my joy is sexy, sophisticated, grown-up music that I want. My goal is to make music that you've never heard before. There'll be sounds and elements that you go, I've never heard that before. And then our goal as a group is to add vocals on it that are the most gorgeous vocals we could possibly capture, and have those two elements work together very compellingly. We want it to draw you in. And so what I do is I come up with sketches, and I share them with the band, and I say, is there anything here? Because I can throw out anything that the band doesn't like. And then typically Jessica always comes back with something amazing. And then we start the process, and we're a three-piece, but we work with a lot of musicians around the country who are our friends. And so they add their elements, might be keyboards, might be drums. And it's sort of, my goal is just go in the studio and start playing around. Something's going to come.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you made mission accomplished. Because like I said, as soon as I clicked the link to the listen, and I was like, whoa, I was, like you said, you captured me. So I know that after this show, you will be captured by many more right here on the East Coast. I'm in Detroit, so a lot of the DJs and things come from out of here that are, and I can guarantee you, Detroit, Chicago, if they don't know who you are, they're going to know who you are after today. And don't be surprised if you hear some of the music infused in some of their mixes. And just like I said, your voice, amazing. How would I known that you were originally house? I just knew that you belonged here. It's like, so
I thought, oh, that's like a really cool tie, you know?
It absolutely is.
Dare you to want me, baby, 'cause I need some of you. Boy, you told me
In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Chabris wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
And remember, stay safe, save time, make your appointments and payments online.
In My House Radio, online 24/7. Featuring only the best techno and house music. And be sure to tune in for Sunday Inspiration, every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get connected, www.inmyhouse65.com.
So you guys are award winners, the whole 9 yards. So let's talk about some of the award nominations. Now, when you got the message, so the first time you got nominated for something, tell me what went on through your head, B.
Well, we've gotten really active in the music video because we like working with artists with a vision, and we've gotten a lot of awards for our videos. And that makes sense to me because our songs don't work unless they put a picture in your mind. So we want you, as you listen to a Karmacoda song, to have your brain and your mind filled with images. And if it doesn't do that, it's not working. So it's a perfect pairing for video, we think.
I agree. And I'm gonna tell you, when I heard the music, what I have to do, I have to research you and look you up and see what you guys got out there. And one of the videos that I did come across was the animation. Like a lot of your videos don't use quote unquote human beings, but you do a lot of animated graphics to speak to your music. So is that part of the logic, or is it just part of the style that you're trying to create? Because I saw a lot of animation.
For us, we love working with talented artists. And the video for Lo-Fi Girl, which is anime,
Yes.
I found a talented artist of all places, India.
Wow.
And I said, can you make a video for this song? I sent him a story treatment that I saw in my mind, and he did that. And it blew my mind. It blew everybody's minds because it's so fresh.
What's the concept behind that one, actually?
So I came up, as I wrote that song, the phrase Lo-Fi Girl came to mind. And people ask me, well, what's a lo-fi girl? And I said, it's a sad girl. So she's in that club by herself, and the video tells the story of why she's sad. And so that was the impetus behind it. I rarely have a plan for a song. They come from out of the sky, and they just appear. I don't feel like I've written half of any of the songs. They just appeared to me, as a gift. And then we turn them into what we turn things into. It's simple as that.
So Jess, when you get the treatment, Brett says, hey, take a listen to this. Does he is he a taskmaster? Does he tell you I didn't mean to never make a joke with a person is from a cup. Sorry.
It's so funny. No, he's not at all. So what happens is he'll have a moment of inspiration, and he gives me sort of like a basic track that has some sounds, and obviously there's like maybe verses, choruses, and he has his own idea for what he wants to wear, but I almost never hear the same thing, which we laugh about all the time. And then, because then I just start writing and writing and writing to the beats he gives me, right? So he kind of gives me like a quarter done track idea. Okay, it has some chords in it, right? It's just super basic, but it's enough for me to write to. I know the key, I can hear where it's going. Okay. And then, so I have a fun game that I play because I never know what I want to write to, because I'm like, he's inspired first and sending it to me, right? So my secret fun game that I play, and he's called me on it, he finally figured it out, is one of the beats. Let's say there's like a percussion, in the program or Logic or whatever, he uses like a Sony thing, whatever. But let's say in GarageBand, whatever it is, there's like beats have names. Okay, so they'll call it, lo-fi. They'll call it kindred. They'll call it whatever. They call these different sounds have a name. So he will always give it to me like the file name is kindred. The file name is flyby, whatever. Okay. So that is where my inspiration comes from to write, because I never know what I want to write about. Right. So like, for instance, time flies and time and all these things, those were all the titles. So what I do is I listen and I create, and I have this game where I'm going to write about what that word is. And if the theme or the hook doesn't match it, I make sure somewhere that word is embedded in the lyrics. So somewhere in the song, that word remains. And so kindred is a great example because it's such a random, that was from the last album. It's like a random word that, like, what would you even write about kindred, right? So, and I'm like, oh, this is like really good game for me, a songwriting game. So I went and I researched, and I'm like, kindred, just
Like,
go into the dictionary, right?
What does it mean? Right.
Right.
Exactly.
What does it mean? And
what are the thesaurus words? What are the synonyms? And what are the antonyms? And how?
Right. Like let me dig really deep into that word, right? And I start researching all the different meanings of that word, and kindred spirits came up. So kindred spirits, right? Whether that's between you and God or him and I, or, right, we are kindred spirits, right? So love, or two people feel like they're kindred spirits, or what, right? They're so similar, like they're meant to be, like soulmates, right? And that's really where that inspiration for that came from. So every song is that. It's literally that. And I go really deep and try and dig really deep into, right, what the meanings are. Now, Lo-Fi Girl, he wrote that. That is be 100% that song. He wrote it, he sang it, he produced it, he did the video, right? That's all. But if you hear me, most of the time I write it. Sometimes he'll write a duet. Sometimes he'll write a song for me. Sometimes I write a duet. But like 80-90% of the time, if I'm singing, I probably wrote it, or he'll tweak it. But he wrote it too, because he made the track, right? So it's like, it's definitely a combination of things, but the lyric and melody, that's where the inspiration for me comes from. So it's really a game. I play a game, and I love playing it because that's super fun for me, because I'm a songwriter. And so it's not just beginning songwriting, cat and hat, right? I want to get into the depth and the emotion and the soul, and like so deep into that character that you almost have to listen to it 10 times to really like feel, and then everybody can interpret it the way that they want to interpret it.
My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. There are payment plans available to help save your property. Visit our website at treasurer.waynecounty.com or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com for further information. We're here to help.
In My House Radio, online 24/7. Featuring only the best techno and house music. And be sure to tune in for Sunday Inspiration, every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get connected, www.inmyhouse65.com.
So now there is a third member
Yes.
group. So Brett, can you talk a little bit about him and who he is and what his role and what part does he play with the group?
Eric Matsuno is been with the band from the beginning. He's a great bass player. That's his function, but he's multi-instrumentalist, so he can play anything, keyboards, guitars. And so he gets a song too, and he adds his bit. Typically it's bass, but it can be synth bass or other things. And so he's just a part of the equation. And so we're great friends. We all get along really well, and it's a joy to be in this band. There's no drama.
No.
Now you know going there next. So how does the band stay together? Do you guys just like take some shots and hit each other upside the head every once? See who punches it out? No, I don't want to do that. You know how bands, it takes a lot to keep the band together. How do you keep the band together after all these years?
Well, I've been called a leader. I don't
Yes.
take that term seriously, but as a person who's kind of guiding the process as I do, it's if some bands, someone will write a song or an idea and throw it to the band, and if it's rejected, they get hurt personally. I have no ego in the game. I really want to know if this works or it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, gone. If it works, let's have fun. That's what it's about. It's creating an environment of togetherness and where everybody's ideas are equally valued. Like if somebody comes up with something, I might say, I think it could be better a little bit with this and this, but never like, this is terrible. What are you thinking? Don't be a jerk. Make it fun, because it's hard work. And so you should enjoy it, every element of it. And that's why it's gone on as long as we've been able to make it go.
Also,
And always
I
trying to
want-
explore things.
Yeah, I was going to interject real quick and just say, when we're finally in the same room and we're doing a photo shoot or whatever, we're usually cracking up at each other because we're so happy to finally see each other, because we all have day jobs too, you know what I mean? And so when we finally get together, we're actually not very productive. We're laughing and cracking up and talking and catching up and really enjoying each other's company, and I think that's part of it, is that just as people, as human beings, we really like each other. We're like, you make me laugh, you're hilarious, and Eric is probably, I think I'm a funny person and I'm a big personality in the room. Like I have a lot of energy, but Eric is his own light, and he's like a feather going through the room. I swear, he just is his energy is so silly and so light, and yet he's so talented that we're all so different. None of the three of us are alike at all. I'm a very spiritual person. Eric is totally different. Brett is so calm, cool, and collected. He's like the rock. He's the stability of the whole thing, and we're all just so different that I think when we finally get together, it's like we really enjoy each other. It's fun. We have a good time.
So let's talk about that. I could tell each one of your personalities. And I think that's what makes it work, because it all fuses together to make this situation, right? It's not
Yeah.
flat, static. A lot of elements coming together, which is what makes really good music. But let's talk about the COVID pandemic. Now, here in Michigan, I mean, everywhere, it's like you can't even, it's crazy about COVID though. You can't really say in Michigan, you can't say in California. We're talking about a global pandemic, right? So, how were you all able to still produce, function? Because I know you guys had projects that you were right in the middle of. So, how were you still able to continue on? I mean, thanks to technology, of course, but
Right.
how are you guys able to really stay on track, stay on target? Because record labels, deadline is still a deadline, right? So how were you able to maintain and manage that through the pandemic?
Well, we're stuck at home.
That's a start.
Everybody's scared to death and doesn't know what's going on. So you have all this emotion that's going. And so I turned all that emotion and worry into the music for 2 records. I've never written music so fast.
Yeah.
Like this next album, I think I wrote the music in 2 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so fast. We were barely done promoting the first one of the pandemic before, boom, we just had the new one was ready to go. And it was crazy. Like while they were promoting it, we were writing a new album, and it just came out right away. It was like everybody's experienced so many highs and so many lows that and it's so high and it's so low, right? It's so emotion driven, this for everybody. And so we were able to really channel that into, okay, I'm going to sit at home. I'm going to not just sit here and stare at the wall. Let's get busy, So we really just wrote a lot of songs. And I will say, for me, those 2 albums are darker than I want to write. But that's where we were at the time. My emotions were, you're like, what's happening? What is happening in the world? There's fear. We don't know, right? There's unknowing. There's reflection. There's going back in time and reflecting. God, remember when we could go to that club when we were 20, whatever, right? You have time to think and really go back and look at those old relationships that were sexy and romantic and whatever, right? And so there was so much more time to really reflect. And so for me, that's where all the songs really came from, is really like reflection, time, looking back in time, And so, but yeah.
Brett, you have something you want to add to that?
Well, the other thing is when the pandemic started in 2020, California was on fire. You could go outside and it looked like Mars. It was really scary. So not only are you living in a pandemic, the state is on fire.
Literally.
Literally on fire.
Literally.
And so it puts you you're like, is this the Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
It's just put me in a frame of mind. And you could say that the pandemic records are coping, really, for me.
Yeah.
Trying to get through it.
That's something you called it, the pandemic records. A lot of people here in Detroit, a lot of the DJs, and sorry I have to refer to DJs because I deal with a lot of DJs and the music.
They're cool.
But during that time period, I think I saw and heard more music than ever in my entire life. You get on Facebook, there was always somebody going on live.
Yeah.
Going live. You even had musicians going live.
Yeah.
You got to finally, I guess all of you had to clean up your studios to go live. Red, I'm so sorry. I didn't catch you right in the bottom there. But it was a terrible period, I swear. Like you said, it was so dark. But we did a group. It was a guy over in France. We met on Facebook and we decided to do this thing called music therapy sessions.
Oh, cool.
So we used to bring all these musicians and DJs and we would go live every week. we have our little cast lineup. Then one time, so it was all DJs at first. And then one time he said, I'm tired of 2 turntables and a mixer. Let's do something different. Let's get some musicians. So we had this beautiful classical style, and music saved our lives. But like you said, the pandemic records, I'm borrowing that. I like that.
Okay.
Like it, but don't like it, right? But it's
I know, right? Yeah.
But it was in that darkness. And like you said, California, I remember, and I totally forgot, California on fire, legitimately on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then this. And those music, and I think for you guys, can you say that if it wasn't for the music, you would not have been able to get all of that dark stuff out of you? Because if you think of a lot of people's music during that period, it does have a dark cloud over it.
It does. And I was able to use the songwriting time, not by choice. It wasn't like I was, doing it on purpose, right? But it was like, okay, well, we have time to write some music. Let's go. And we were inspired to do that. But a lot of the lyrics and songs are really like just darker and sad, or right? Yeah. So yeah. What are you gonna do? Everybody was feeling.
I know. So now we're post-pandemic. People are still a little nervous. The stuff is going up, down, or whatever. But what's on the horizon for you guys? Where's your frame of mind at now? And what are some of the what can we look for and expect to hear from you guys now?
Well, we're writing a new record.
Awesome.
And so we're in the process of me handing out the songs to first Jessica and then the rest of the band. And the music that I'm hearing is as you might think, it's more joyful.
Yeah.
It's there's a real spirit. Like I'm hearing a lot of neo soul, R&B, electronica. I kind of got in this R&B, neo soul, electronica vibe. I don't know where it came from, but it just resonated, because we originally came from like the trip hop era, but that's done and gone.
Yeah.
So
it's evolved.
Yeah, we can't trip or hop as much as we used to, right?
And with Jessica's voice, that's just
exactly.
It just resonates. And so it got me, it's like I've got this wonderful singer who will sing on top of what sketches I create. And so you go there. And I really got into Frank Ocean a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And the guy's a genius, and he can take a guitar and nothing else and make a song. And so that stripped down sound really inspired me. And he's not really soul or R&B or hip hop. He's Frank Ocean.
Right. Category all by itself.
Yeah.
And so that I think inspired me to say, well, what's my category or our category all by ourselves? And so I think that really moved the direction of the music in a really compelling way. And it's been getting a lot of attention. So
it's getting more and more soulful as we go together. And the new stuff we're working on is super soulful, which for me, I vibe with even better. Like, I'm like, yes, right? So my writing I feel like is even better. It's more honest. And I'm having more joy writing with the songs because I'm so inspired by the soulfulness that he brought forth to me. Like, it was a surprise, right? I'm like, whoa, what is this? I'm so excited, right? I told him, I was like, I don't know what's happening. That acoustic guitar in there is giving me life. Like, so I'm loving it. Right?
Y'all got me geek. Can y'all hurry up and write it and get it out?
I know, it's so cool. I'm so excited.
As soon as we get off here, I need you to write and get it done, people. Come on.
Yeah, I think we're like 4 or 5 songs deep right now.
Well, I wrote 12, and you've done 4 or 5.
Yeah, I am 4 or 5 deep, and then he gave me 12, so I gotta
just don't be holding up. Come on.
I know, I gotta hurry.
Let's go.
Oh man.
Wow. I am so excited. And again, I really do appreciate meeting you all for the first time in my entire life, but I know you now and I will be following you. I will be on your Facebooks, your socials, your websites, and shout out to the distribution centers that send me music all the time. And I do truly listen to all of it. Whatever they send me, I do listen to it, because this is the importance of listening. Because if I just get this email and I just don't listen, I would have missed you guys. So to all, this is my big advice to all the DJs and all the producers and all the media houses and outside. Don't ignore the emails. If you don't recognize the name, so what? Open it up, listen to it, because you will be so surprised. You will meet dynamic people like who you're looking at right here today. So I'm fangirling right now, okay? I'm loving it. You got a new fan right here in Detroit. So hopefully you guys will get to come to Detroit. You know, we have a big festival here during the month of May called the Movement Festival. The world literally comes to Detroit for a weekend. So get it on your calendar. Come on to Detroit and hang out. Let me know you're here and I'll show you all around. You'll have a ball, believe me.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So is there anything that you would like to say? Is there anything that you would like for my world and my audience, who I'm introducing to you to this through my platform? Is there anything that you would like for people to know about you that is so key and so important?
Well, we just released a new single called Dare.
Yes.
And that has really gotten people's attention. And I wouldn't have picked that song. You never know which song is going to resonate with people. But, you know, Jessica's singing the hell out of it, and that's why it resonates.
Yeah.
I wrote some runs in there. It was really fun. That is one of the ones I get to sing on, instead of like kind of whisper about because it's a story song. You know what I mean? And I'm really singing it. And so I am really thrilled that people are resonating with it as well. And that enables me to have that more soulful vibe. Right. And I am finding that when I do sing like that and I really give it that, we're getting more attention on those songs. So I think the new album will be much more of that. So I'm excited. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Thank you so very much. I truly appreciate you,
Thank you.
For accepting my request. Next time you tell that third guy, he better be here, because I want all right, no more excuses. Everybody got to do what they got to do, but I truly appreciate you all. Now, go to all their socials, like, subscribe, get to know them a little deeper, and all my DJs, y'all better put some of their music in your mix. Y'all figure it out. Y'all DJs are magical. Y'all do what you
Yeah.
But listen, don't sleep on their music. I promise you, you will not be disappointed, and it will move the dance floor, guys. So I can tell you that right now. But I appreciate you all. I thank you so kindly, and I really truly appreciate you today. And glad to be a fangirl. Y'all got one.
Yes, we appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time and for being interested. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right. So look, we have heard it from them. Now let's go and listen and see the music of Karmacoda. This is T. Carlita for the In My House Techno Music Show, where the true stories are told and great music is definitely played.
When I see you in this place, with your sad and lonely face, I wanna call you, I wanna call you. girl. Oh, lo-fi girl. When I get into the space, my sad and lonely place, I wanna see you. I need to see you, lo-fi girl. You're my lo-fi girl, lo-fi girl. When I see you in this place, with my sad and lonely face, I want to call you. I need to call you, lo-fi girl. You're my lo-fi girl. Lo-fi girl, lo-fi girl. You're my lo-fi girl, lo-fi girl. I need to see you, oh, my lo-fi girl.
You are In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.